What's up, YouTube? T Movies here. Now, now, of course, I did all the 1980s films, so now I'm gonna finish off with my 1989 favorite movies, like my favorite movies from 1989. So pretty much these movies are kind of like they, most of them pretty much turned 30 this year, and they already turned 30. So, boy, man, I feel so old, and I wasn't even born back then. But anyway, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite movies of the year of 1989. Alright. Coming in at number 10 is going to be Oliver Stone's film, Born on the 4th of July. Now, this is a pretty good one. I mean, you got, it's another movie of Tom Cruise's that's in my top 10, by the way. Top Gun was in my top 10. There was also, Risky Business was in my top 10. Rain Man. I mean, you can tell I'm a big Tom Cruise fan just by some of these lists. But this time around, it started the movie takes place in mid 1960s and you got a suburban New York teen named Ron Kavak, played by Cruise, who ends up enlisting in the Marines, and so he pretty much fulfills what he sees as his patriotic duty, and so during his second tour in Vietnam, he accidentally ends up killing a fellow soldier during a retreat, and later becomes permanently paralyzed in the battle. So he ends up returning home to pretty much uncaring veterans, administrations, and all that. And he also returns to family, and you got William Dafoe was in this, really awesome. Oliver Stone. I mean, he's no stranger to when it comes to these type of movies, and he really nailed it out of the park with this film. It's a movie you could probably it gets shown around 4th of July all the time. This and Independence Day are probably the go-to 4th of July movies, and it's a pretty good one. It's a really good. It's probably one of my favorite Marine films. Of course, I not so long ago I did my top 10 favorite Marine movies, and of course this was in that list. It's a really good film. Great performances by Cruise. I think it got nominated for Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got to check that. But it's a really good one. It's really intense and crazy that this is based on a true story, because this really happened in real life. But if you guys never seen Born on the 4th of July yet, I say give it a go. It's a really good one. Alright, coming in at number 9 is a comic classic, Weekend at Bernie's. I mean, this is of course where these cheap salesmen ends up finding their boss for for a weekend, for pretty much stay at the weekend at his beach house, and they end up pretty much Bernie is ends up becoming the hey, sorry for that. Bernie ends up becoming the perpetrator of a feud when they've of course uncover and is arranging to these people are pretty much arranging to have Bernie killed and all, and he of course pretty much ends up getting killed, and the two guys are pretty much dragging around their dead boss. And so of course they pretend that Bernie is alive, and they cause lots of crazy hijinks. The film stars Terry Kaiser as the role of Bernie. You also had Jonathan Silverman and Andrew McCartney as the two bumbling idiots. And those two had really great chemistry. Anyway, yeah, I thought they really had great chemistry, and I mean they spent that around the whole movie pretty much carrying the dead boss. Come on, what more do you want for there? It's really funny, it's entertaining, and the stuff that they go to is pretty hilarious. Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's is just a great one. check out the first one. You could avoid the sequel. The sequel's not that good, but the first Week at Bernie's is great. I mean, I just love that movie. All right, coming in at coming in at number 8 is going to be another comic classic. This guy go. All right. As I was saying, my number 8 favorite movie of 1989 is another comic classic, and that is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I mean, it stars Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, who plays high school buddies who start a band together, and they also end up about to fail their history class, and which means Ted will be sent to military school, and so they end up receiving help from this guy named Rufus, played by George Collin, who's a traveler from the future. So they end up banding together to use a time machine to go back to time to return with important information about past history. If that sounds familiar, it's because Family Guy actually poked fun at that. Like, remember the episode where Chris, was going to be failing his classes, and so Brian and Stewie ends up taking him back to time, so he can learn history's past and all that. They pretty much spoofed that in Family Guy, and it's a great one. I really like the dynamic chemistry between Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter. It was cool seeing some actors playing like got an actor playing Abraham Lincoln was in this, Napoleon, lots of interesting historical figures, and it's a great one. Sorry about that. Anyway, as, as I was saying, Bill and Ted is a really great one. It's probably one of my besides Back to the Future, of course. This is another one of my favorite time travel movies. George Cullen. I mean, he's just one. He's an icon, so it's pretty cool to see him in this. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, them together, is pretty funny to watch. And of course, they also did a sequel called Bogus Journey, which was also good too, but the original, I still prefer the original, to be honest with you. But I still really quite enjoy Bill Ted's Excellent Adventure. I mean, it's an '80s classic, and not to mention, if you guys don't know, next year we're getting a third Bill and Ted, so keep your eye out for that when that gets released. And I mean, just think about before Keanu Reeves was John Wick, he was pretty much Ted from Bill and Ted. So yeah, there's that. But yeah, Bill and Ted is it's a funny one, and it's a classic. It's great. Sorry about that. Yeah, Bill and Ted is like I said, it's a classic, and it's a really good one. And I'm really looking forward for the third one too. So. Coming in at number 7 is going to be Driving Miss Daisy. Now, the film stars Jessica Tandy as this elderly widow living in Atlanta, played by, of course, Jessica Tandy's character named Daisy Werfan. And she really wants to determine to maintain her independence, but she ends up crashing her car, and so her son Bully, played by Dan Aykroyd, wants her to hire a chauffeur. So she ends up hiring an African American driver named Hope Calburn, played by Morgan Freeman, and they ends up like having like they start having a rocket relationship, but they end up growing like their relationship ends up growing further throughout. It's a really great one. I mean, I really like the chemistry between Freeman and Tandy. The whole movie, like most parts of the films, will take place in a car. There's a part that takes place in a hotel, and it's always a joy to see Dan Aykroyd in anything. I mean, who doesn't love Dan Aykroyd? Yeah, and it's a shame Jessica Tandy's no longer with us because she's was pretty much an icon. And Morgan Freeman, I mean, come on, he's always an icon. Who doesn't love Morgan Freeman? I mean, let's be real there. And this is a really great one. If you guys never seen Driving Miss Daisy, go check it out. It's a classic. All right. All right. Coming in at number 6 is going to be another classic, and that is Dead Poet Society. Now, the film is directed by Peter Weir. This film is directed by Peter Weir, and it stars the late great Robert Williams as a teacher who like tries to inspire his troubled students and get them have like a good like get them on the right path and all. He's a real inspiration in this, and it's a really great one. I mean, it has some really great lines, like of course a classic "Oh Captain, My Captain" line. Robert Williams' teacher character is probably one of the best teachers there is. He'll be a teacher that you actually want to have in real life, and yeah, it's really great directing. It's a great screenplay here. I mean, one of Robert Williams' most finest performance. I mean, I, I miss Robert Williams, man. It's a shame he passed away way too soon, and this is definitely one of his best work. I mean, on like maybe next week on Robin Williams' birthday, by the way, I'm gonna do my top 10 favorite Robin Williams movies. So if you're a Robin Williams fan, keep your eye out for that. But yeah, Dead Post Society is definitely gonna be up there because it's just a classic, and it's just Dead Post Society is just a classic. I mean, this is a movie you can watch in school over and over. Like when I was like that's actually how I first got introduced to this movie was when I was in school, and my teacher would actually show this movie tons of times. I mean, like I think it was probably this and maybe Rudy and maybe Hose that I've seen tons of times when I was in school. And Dead Post Society, I mean, I could see why because it's an inspiration film. It's of course a movie about a teacher, a movie about troubled students. Also, you got a young Ethan Hawke in this, not to mention. So, is that? But yeah, Dead Post Society is a classic. I mean, Oh Captain, My Captain, classic lineup. Anyway, all right, number. Coming in at number 5 is going to be probably one of the best baseball movies there is. That is that is of course Field Dreams. Now, Field Dreams stars Kevin Costner as a Hawaii farmer named Ray, who pretty much like hears mysterious voices during the cornfield, and the voice he hears is, "If you build it, he will come," and he feels the need to like act on it, and so like he ends up building a baseball diamond on his land, and he's also supported by his wife Annie, played by Amy Madigan, and you got the ghosts of and you also hear the ghosts of great players, including Joe Jackson in here. By the way, James Earl Jones is in this too. Not to mention, I mean, who doesn't love James Earl Jones? Field Dreams it's a classic. It's a great baseball film. It's really inspirational. It's great performance by Kevin Costner, Amy Madigan's of course great in this. Really fantastic movie. I mean, if you guys never see Field Dreams yet, go watch Field Dreams. It's a really good one. All right. Coming in at number 4 will be Rob Reiner's classic, When Harry Met Sally. I mean, how do you not like When Harry Met Sally? You know, When Harry Met Sally, of course, stars Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan is in this, the late great Carrie Fisher. I mean, in it, it's pretty much where like college graduates, like former college graduates, Harry Burns, played by Billy Crystal, and Sally Albright, played by Meg Ryan, reunite and try to reconnect again. And you've got Carrie Fisher as Meg Ryan's best friend. You've got Bruno Kirby as Billy Crystal's best friend. With Rob Reiner, I mean, he's probably one of my favorite filmmakers. He's directed some really great stuff, and of course, When Harry Met Sally is one of them. I mean, it of course has, I don't want to say that out loud, but it also has an iconic orgasm scene. I mean, if you guys seen When Harry Met Sally, you know what scene I'm talking about. The I'll have what she's having scene. You know, on this episode, on last week's episode of that HBO show, Euphoria, there's like a character who pretty much is I don't like bring you filthy here, but in the episode of Euphoria, there's like a scene where pretty much one of the characters ends up having an orgasm. And you know what? I gotta say, I think that show missed an opportunity to have a When Harry Met Sally joke. I mean, I know the show's not a comedy or anything, but I just think they should have had like a When Harry Met Sally joke in that episode. But anyway, back to the film. It's of course a romance film set in New York City. I mean, some of the best romance movies take place here. But I guess New York City is for lovers. I'm guessing. But yeah, When Harry Met Sally is a really great one, and it's really cute. It's charming. If you guys never seen it, go check it out. I mean, believe it or not, at AMC this December they're like doing a re-release of When Harry Met Sally, and maybe I might actually see it on the big screen. I mean, I've seen the movie tons of times, never really seen it on the big screen before, so probably take some time out and check this one out on the big screen. But anyway, if you guys haven't seen When Harry Met Sally, you're missing out. It's a really classic. Anyway, coming in at number yeah, coming in at number 3 is going to be the Spike Lee classic Do the Right Thing. Another movie set in New York City. I mean, I don't want to shoot my own horn, but I do love me a good New York City set film. And I mean, this is just an iconic one. The movie was actually shown at AMC for like re-release. Man, I wanted to check it out, but didn't really have any time to watch on the big screen, so kind of missed out on it. But I would love to have seen this on the big screen. I mean, Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing is just a classic. It has great performances by Audrey Davis, Ruby Dee, Giancarlo Esposito, way before Breaking Bad, of course. Spike Lee was even in this. You also had the great Danny Aiello. John Turturro was in this. I believe a young Lawrence Fishburne was in this, if I'm not mistaken. But that being said, Do the Right Thing is just such a great movie. It was the movie that really put Spike Lee on the map. I believe this was his first film, if I'm not mistaken. Or I think it was School Days that was his first. I can't really remember which was his first film. But I know Do the Right Thing is the one that really put him on the map and made lots of people become a Spike Lee fan. And this is, to me, it's probably Spike Lee's best work, in my opinion. It's great. Great performances all around. If you guys ever seen Do the Right Thing, you're definitely missing out. All right, my number two favorite is going to be, yep, it's going to be Back to the Future 2. I mean, the first Back to the Future was, of course, my top 10 favorite, was actually my favorite movie of 1985. Now, Back to the Future 2 is in my top 10 favorite 1989 movies. I mean, to me, it's probably, in my opinion, Back to the Future 2 is maybe even better than the first film. Like, there's few sequels that I find to be better than its first film, and Back to the Future is definitely one of them. To me, it's the best one out. Like, it's probably my favorite out of the franchise. You know, it's a movie that takes place in 2015, so they sort of predicted a lot of stuff. They predicted, what did they predict? Oh yeah, they predicted hoverboards. If you guys go around, you probably see hoverboards around. They did not predict Jaws 19 though, which I thought would be cool. And not to mention, I try not to get political on my in my videos or anything. But I'm telling you something right now. The Biff character who becomes like, if you guys know, if you guys don't know, Biff was the bully from Back to the Future who bullied Marty McFly. And this time around, when Marty McFly goes back in time, he recounts he like revisits like see Biff once again. And this time around, Biff is like really he's pretty much like rich and he's also like Smith with Leah Thompson's character and also uh, he's of course Smith with Lorraine and all, and they become an item. And I'm not getting I try not to get political in any of my videos, but I think it was either one of the writers or Robert Zemeckis, someone actually said that Biff was based on Trump. I mean, you could probably look that up sometime, but yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that was another prediction of Trump's presidential, but that's a topic for another day. I'm not getting any political, but still, Back to the Future 2 is I just love this movie. It's a definitely a sequel I could watch over and over. It had a cool twist that, of course, led up to Back to the Future 3, which I like Back to the Future 3, but it was still stepped down from 1 and 2. But Back to the Future 2 is definitely the best out of that franchise, and yeah, I just love this movie. I mean, if you guys still never seen Back to the Future 2 by now, or actually, if you've never seen any of the Back to the Future movies, you're missing out. They're iconic, and they're just the best in my opinion. Of course, not to mention Marty McFly is great. Who's of course played by Mike J. Fox. Christopher Lloyd as a Dr. Emmett is just iconic. I believe John Cusack was also in Back to the Future, or was it Elijah Wood? Yeah, I think it was Elijah Wood who actually made his debut in Back to the Future 2. But that being said, Back to the Future is still great. All right, my number one favorite movie of 1989 is pretty much the movie that like put the superhero genre in its core, and that is the classic Batman, directed by the great Tim Burton. Starring Michael Keaton as the famed Crusader Batman. Kim Basinger. You got um. Oh, oh yeah, you got Billy D. Williams played Harvey Dent. I bet lots of people forgot about that. Micah Go was the great Alfred. Jack Nixon. I mean, Heath Ledger was a cool Joker, but Jack Nixon is definitely also one of the best too. I mean, believe it or not, I kind of already mentioned. And I kind of already mentioned this once before, but if you guys, if you guys think that both Ben Affleck and Robert Pattinson are have like you know, you know have it rough when they're because of course if you guys know Ben Affleck had it rough when he was cast as Batman, and now Robert Pattinson has had it rough since he's cast as Batman. If you think they had it rough, believe it or not, Michael Keaton was also like lots of people hated the idea of Michael Keaton as Batman. People thought this was a worst casting choice. They think he would have been like pretty much the worst Batman ever, and he succeeded. Like lots of people even think he's one. Like lots of people even think he's better than Christian Bale and all. And I still probably prefer Christian Bale, but Michael Keaton's still he was a great Batman. He reprised his role once again in Batman Returns, which was okay too, but the original Batman's the best. This is the movie that really redefined the superhero genre for what it is. I mean, we probably wouldn't have stuff like the Avengers or even the Dark Knight if it wasn't for this Batman movie, and it's just iconic. It's a classic, and yeah, definitely go watch it if you guys still never seen it. It's a really great one. But anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. All right. 10. Born on the 4th of July. 9. Weekend at Bernie's. 8. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. 7. Driving Miss Daisy. 6. Dead Poet Society. 5. Field of Dreams. 4. When Harry Met Sally. 3. Do the Right Thing. 2. Back to the Future 2. 1. Batman. Now, there's those other ones I probably could have added as well. Let's see. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is a good one. The Little Mermaid, which of course we're getting a reboot, which lots of people are already bashing on it, but whatever. There's of course The Abyss. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Say Anything. Ghostbusters 2. Glory. Lethal Weapon 2. Roadhouse. Pet Cemetery. The Birds. There's also a Christmas Vacation, Uncle Buck, My Left Foot, Turner and Hooch. Look Who's Talking is a good one. Let's see. There's also there's Tango and Cash. That's another good one. Halloween 5. There is a pretty interesting films that got released in '89. I mean, what a year for movies. I mean, '89 was of course the last decade of the '80s, and they ended the '80s off with a bang. But let me let you guys. What are some of your favorite movies of the year of 1989? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is Team Movies. Signing off.